Hello. We are going over the 324 biblical prophecies that prove Jesus is the Messiah. You are watching this on the Halachgoy channel of YouTube. I'm a Halachgoy, and you can be one too. 324 biblical prophecies that prove Jesus is the Messiah. Prophecy number 9, the Last Supper foreshadowed. We find this prophecy in Genesis chapter 14, verse 18. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was a priest of God Most High. We find the fulfillment of this prophecy in Matthew chapter 26, verses 26 to 29. While they were eating, Jesus took bread, gave thanks, and broke it, and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take and eat. This is my body." Then he took the cup, gave thanks, and offered it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you. This is the blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now on until the day when I drink it anew with you in my Father's kingdom." So what was happening to Abraham? Why did Melchizedek need to come out with bread and wine at the time that he did? What was this foreshadowing? Melchizedek, when he brings out the bread and the wine, he also gives Abraham a blessing. This blessing was a very necessary time in Abraham's life to receive a blessing. Things had not gone that well. At the time of Abraham's young adulthood, there wasn't much knowledge in the new post-flood world of death. People didn't die that often, or at least in Abraham's experience. When Abraham was born, and for a large part of his life, Noah was still alive, as was every single one of his forefathers. They were still alive. It wasn't until Abraham's middle ages that he started to see his forefathers dying. Noah died, and some of his other ancestors started to die. This was somewhat disturbing. And then there was a war being fought. People were killing other people for reasons that made absolutely no logical sense at all. They were just trying to take things from other people. Abraham was witnessing the world falling apart around him. He knew that there was wickedness here and there was wickedness there, but now the wickedness was trying to kill each other, and this was taking the world to a much worse place. Abraham jumped in there to put a stop to it. It wasn't a case of good versus evil. It was a case of just trying to stop two very messed up camps from destroying each other. So Abraham got into this. His people probably caused the death of some of the enemies. This was not a time for rejoicing. Maybe Abraham was even participating in that. This was not a time for Abraham to be excited. Hey, we won the war, everything's wonderful. That's how we treat things today. That probably was not the way it was being treated back then. Abraham would have been very distraught. The next thing you know, he's got these evil kings coming to him, saying let's figure out how we're going to reorder the world now. And Abraham just doesn't want to be involved with this. Doesn't want to be involved with these people. in the middle of this meeting, Melchizedek comes out, a person who kind of stayed in the background. He was sort of a patriarch of the day. He was sort of a king of kings, but he was not one of the wicked ones. He brings bread and wine to Abraham, and then he blesses Abraham. He blesses Abraham by saying, "Blessed be Abraham by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth. And he blessed be God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand." Melchizedek's blessing is coming on two different levels. It's coming on the level of the world and the work that Abraham was doing. It's also coming on the level of blessing God. And this is symbolically represented by the bread and the wine, the two parts of the blessing. This blessing was being brought down. It was spoken by Noah to his son Shem. Not in a very poetic manner. Noah was having a very bad day at the time when he spoke the words. Shem had some time or Melchizedek, I suppose, had some time to work over the words and refine them and give them to Abraham. Abraham continues to give these words, making them better with each succeeding generation. It goes through his son into his grandsons, and finally into the entire Jewish nation. It just becomes the major blessing. It's the same blessing that later Esau and Jacob struggle over. This blessing culminates in the Messianic age, and it is a foreshadowing of the Messianic age. Jesus, who felt that he was trying to bring about the Messianic age, and he wanted so much to do it that he was ready to be the Messiah. And for that reason, we should speak no ill of him. However, at the time of the Last Supper, Jesus saw that things were beginning to fall apart, or they were getting real bad real fast. He kind of knew that his life was coming to an end, and he, in his own way, was giving this blessing to his disciples. It says, carry on, and I will drink this with you in the Messianic day. We should all wish for this to come true, and we should all do our parts. Just as Jesus wanted to do his part, we should all be doing our parts to see this fulfillment. May the Messiah come in our lifetime. May he come quickly. Thank you. The next prophecy we'll be looking at, Genesis chapter 17, verse 19. The seed of Isaac. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.